Here's my review and pros and cons of Jurassic World Dominion. Spoilers everywhere, and will be within both the pros and the cons, so you've been warned. Do not continue if you haven't seen the film, and please, pretty please, don't listen to these critics or review bombers. It's all a ruse for them negative clicks, the clout, the fake hate, outrage, and just jerks on social media. Sure, you can dislike it, but give me reasons more than just it's not Jurassic Park from 1993. Give me some compelling reasons why Dominion sucks besides being blinded by nostalgia. So here we go with my review. I give Jurassic World Dominion an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Very impressive, very well done, and very much not the fluster cluck of a failure like what these angry, mentally disturbed hate critics and troll reviewers are saying. This movie buries World and Fallen Kingdom. Actually, it took the big pile of dino sheet from Fallen Kingdom and turned into a statue of Silver Hope. Most excellent, and yours truly highly recommends you watch it. Disregard any and all reviews under a 7 out of 10. Seriously, don't fall trap into Dominion being terrible. Now to the many pros and a few cons. Funny, before I came in and saw the movie last night, I was thinking Dominion's going to be a 5 out of 10. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong and would have been doing myself great injustice. Once again, watch the movie for yourself. Stay far away from any reviews score or below 7. That isn't critical, that isn't compelling, and just out there just hating it, just to hate it. This movie doesn't deserve the hate, but haters are going to hate, so they can continue to enjoy those L's. Now to the pros. The opening was a thrill ride. Claire, Zia, Franklin. I love how they retcon Fallen Kingdom with those two. And sadly, they kind of did more with the human Maisie plot, having 2 of them instead of 1. So yeah. But that's not really a negative because they built off of Fallen Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's in the credits. I mean, it's in the trailers. Owen's still Owen. Claire's, she's more Fallen Kingdom, from Boss Claire from World to Mama Claire in Fallen Kingdom, and she's a mama in this one. And spoiler, again, this is gonna be all spoilers. I love how Claire and Elle talked about Claire's past and her having regrets. I mean, you can see it in her face the whole movie. She looks sad. She looks weary. She just looks worn out, and she just, I guess, because with Maisie and them, because it's in the trailers. They live outside the grid and all of that. That was surprisingly nice and awesome. I was like, yes, continuity matters. Yes. I love how both Zia and Franklin are barely in Dominion. And spoilers, Franklin's working for the CIA, which makes sense for him not to be in with Claire and Owen. And strange how both Zia and Franklin assume that Claire and Owen broke up, which is in literally the first, 5 minutes of the movie. Which in the end of Fallen Kingdom, they will settle together. And I did cringe for a bit, when they talk. I mean, they really killed Fallen Kingdom for me. But after that little spill, for them not being the majority of the film, it made Dominion much, much better and a major plus for that. I guess Zia, who was on screen for 10 seconds, but I don't know. I guess that, the actress was doing Cowboy Bebop. And again, the less of them, the better. I was glad and happy that Omar Sy as Barry returned. It was so nice to see him again. Mega plus with Owen and Claire and their little get together and the Malta scene. It was brief, but spoiler. He's also for the CIA, the French intelligence. So it made sense why Barry wasn't in the third act. The epic return of Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. L. Sadler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm. No cameos. Yes, they really did Dr. Ian Malcolm dirty and wrong in Fallen Kingdom. What was the point of that, really? I seriously, and then, Claire, I mean, let's be real here. Whether you love the movies or not, you have to give credit is due, and you have to understand, Claire Dare should have been in prison in Fallen Kingdom after the events of World. That's what I thought the court scene was. But yeah, but you know what? They did. This movie Dominion is literally we apologize for Fallen Kingdom. Here you go. Apology accepted. Dr. Grant being Dr. Grant, no complaints here or negatives here. Sam Neill is a national treasure, a national Kiwi treasure. Lauren Dern, another national treasure, and major props and kudos for keeping both of them pretty much the same. And age come with beauty. That's all I have to say. And but and also notice how Dr. L is much more bubbly than before. I mean, in a good way, And Dr. E. Malcolm, you can never ever go wrong with Jeff Goldblum. To be honest, it was just magic. It really was. The scenes with them, it didn't steal away from the movie or the plot or the pacing. In fact, again, this is literally the opposite of Fallen Kingdom. Everything that was wrong with Fallen Kingdom was right in Dominion. The action chase scenes in Malta, yeah, people are raging and ragging over, but forget how both World and Fallen Kingdom had action adventure set pieces just like this. Yeah, you say they went overboard, but then what movie hasn't went overboard? And it's not wrong having CIA, foreign intelligence agencies involved where dinosaurs are in the human society. In fact, it would have been a plot hole if it wasn't. So take another L, all of you complaining about it and giving it and a review bombing it. Why CIA can be in a Jurassic movie for? I said they did great in Dominion. And Claire Daring was a front runner in action scenes. Yeah, she did the most action scenes in this whole movie. I'm thinking she did more than Owen, to be honest. Much more in the previous films. Bryce Dallas Howard is a true force to be reckoned with. Such a shame that she never was cast in any femme fatale spy action movie before. I mean, she could do it now. I mean, she's still ripe. She's still got it. She's still, yeah. So Hollywood, take notes. Yeah, but then that's true. She is doing more behind the camera work and directing now, but she can definitely give Jessica Chastain a run for her money. In fact, I believe Bryce Dallas Howard over Jessica Chastain any day. I had no problems with them. I mean, let's swap Claire Daring and put John McClane, who's just a dad bod, everyday cop. No one will bat an eye. So take all off your nostalgia and woman can't do this goggles. Because if it's okay for average Joe John McClane to do it, and how many Die Hard films and any action adventure films Bruce Willis in? I mean, look, before the, before the illness, but it's okay for him to do it. It's not okay for Claire Daring to do the same. It's as good as Park, and just two negatives is all I can say about Dominion. I would have gave this a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for the two. And another spoiler alert, and this happened before, the movie. The media buzz and hating of CLJOATS, played by DeWanda Wise, of being bi and all that. All of you who had a problem with this can chill the F out. The only thing that was implied was she replied to Owen, I love redheads too. That's all, folks. That's all. That's what you all been outraged for. Kayla didn't have no partner or love interest on the screen. So quit with all your fake hate, outrage, clout chasing, and clickbaiting buffoonery, because never did Kayla hit it or even hint that she was interested in Claire. Spoiler, the restroom scene, I took that as like a warning / introduction to Kayla, and not some, hey baby, redhead fox lady, let's make out. So once again, do us all a favor, get off your echo chambers of woke this, woke that, and chill the F out. In fact, this movie had nothing even remotely being woke. Y'all got some boogeyman issues and need some shock therapy. Admit it. You all just don't like or want women in action movies. You preach, praise, worship, and salute on high mountaintops for how much you love Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor. You dunce hat hypocrites would denounce them if they was made in this decade. I try to listen as much as I can. I don't recall hearing any Women Inherit the Earth remix, retake, or remake in Dominion. So here's another L for you fragile betas. I mean, both male and female of the cast had their moments to shine and all of that. I don't see nothing woke about it. Now, this isn't woke at all, but I didn't like how Ellie's husband, Mark, was, and father of her kids, was taken out of the picture. I would have rather had, spoiler, Ellie's husband had just passed away instead of, becoming, well, we just broke up and all of that. But I would like to if he just passed away and all of that, and then the rest is because it doesn't seem right, and it kind of spits on Jurassic Park 3. It really does. I didn't like that, so that could be a negative. I don't know. Definitely didn't like that part. Another, it is understandable because of the pacing and the plot. Dr. Sarah Harding by Julianne Moore and Kelly were in Dominion. It's understandable. Nothing negative for combat, but thinking about it, yeah, it would have been just too many cooks in the kitchen if they was there. And then with the original Jurassic Park kids, Lexi and Timmy, it wouldn't have worked out either. Because, yeah. Oh, this movie is the polar opposite of Fallen Kingdom. The movie surprised me in many ways. They took all the mistakes and F-ups in Fallen Kingdom and corrected them, learned from them, and did better than ever. No, this movie isn't perfect, but then guess what? Neither is any other movie besides your nostalgia goggles being on. Yeah, so they really did a good job. Stop comparing this to Park. It's not Park. If you want Park, just watch the 1993 movie and be satisfied with that. I'm not going to say I have a PlayStation 4. I'm not going to get mad because I don't have PlayStation 5 graphics. Either I get the PlayStation 5 or I just be settled with the PlayStation 4. Be happy to what it is. The pacing was solid, very much energetic. I never felt bored, weary, or sighted for a 2.5-hour movie. It was fresh, dynamic, and surprisingly on cue. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, I wish it was 3 hours because I wanted more. I wanted more interactions with with the old school meets the new school. I wanted more with it. Maybe with the Blu-ray edition, we'll probably get like a 30 minutes extend. I would love to have seen this to be 3 hours. No kidding. I loved it. I was glued to my chair, and I grinned several times throughout the movies with the references, the callbacks, and the fanboyism between the actors. Yeah, and they was firing all cylinders, and the old meets new, the new meets old. It was icing on the cake, and then I also love the dinosaurs I spent living with us. Again, they really corrected the mistakes of Fallen Kingdom with this one. Now we go to my favorite scene, the dino fight ring scene, up in Malta. Maisie, I don't know why they made her show a clone, but I need to really stop beating that horse because then I'm starting to sound like these gator baiters and all of that. So it is what it is. So I'm just going to this, don't get no negative because of that. It's not healthy to dig up the past and bury my own future. You know what I'm saying? I like how she was very sassy and a smart aleck, which is true for teenagers if we're honest with ourselves. That's how we were. The House Grady scenes, I liked it, but why were they mostly outside for? I mean, 9 out of 10, they was outside around the fire, around the campfire with the marshmallows, but why wasn't it inside? Just a nitpick. CLJOATS and Ramsey, they were great new faces of Jurassic World. Once again, nothing more about either one just because they're African Americans or African descent or European blacks. In fact, the men, like I said again, the men had just as much action scenes as the women. It was cute how both Owen and Alan were low-key fanboying each other, and Claire and Ellie was fangirling each other. And it was nice to have their camaraderie. Very nice. Dr. Henry Wu, I have nothing negative or positive to say about him, but you can't deny B.D. Wong. B.D. Wong is another national treasure, and I'm glad he was in it, and I'm glad his arc is over with, because really can't do nothing else with him. People complaining how nobody but the villains died in this. It's no different from the MCU and DCU, ladies and gentlemen. Newsflash, not every single movie needs to be dark, sad, evil, ending, depressing, brooding, and all the heroes die. I mean, come on, I'm actually sick and tired of movies like that. I love to see movies with a sign of hope, sunshine, because look at this crap going on in the real world. I don't want to see it on the movies either. Yeah, so all them people bashing hate on this movie are doing it for the fake outrage and just doing for negative clips and all that to boost the algorithms because YouTube just loves that negative algorithm. Now we're going to the negatives of Dominion. The Locust plot was stupid and it was very out of place, ridiculous, shouldn't have been in the movie. Dominion had plentiful, it wasn't necessarily having those darn locusts. Again, this is all movie spoiler. Well, actually, the whole thing is a movie spoiler. And then with the fire locust, it looked it cool, but then it shouldn't have been in them. Really, the director, producers, the writers, Universal should have kept the locust plot and the concept, or threw it in the trash and kept it on the cutting room floor. Shouldn't have been in this movie. I just couldn't get the hang of it. It wasn't needed. They had the Gigasaurus, they had the claws and the feather dinos. Come on, now really, the locust plot added nothing to it. It was just part was just thrown in there at the last second, but they really should not have had it in there. It was just ridiculous. It was just buffoonery in it. I didn't like it, and that's one huge negative I can think of it. I wish there was none of it. It was pointless and didn't need it all. So take this L Dominion for that. Now to the second negative and the last one. Once again, what is with these villains being one dimensional? Why is it so hard to make villains just as compelling multidimensional as the heroes? Another round of one dimensional me bad guy for dastardly deeds. Now, there was some hope with Lou Dawson, much better hope than Fallen Kingdom. The main villain could have been something much more. That's all potential in him. I mean, yeah, he seemed like Steve Jobs to me. You know, it would have been much better if they added more depth to him, more character. But no, they didn't. They just said, "Well, me bad guy for dastardly reasons." I would have liked that if they did something else with him instead of just doing the same old trope. Now Ramsey, on the other hand, I would have loved to see like a face heel turn, because those two were alike. Ramsey and Dotson, they were really alike. But I would have loved to have seen Ramsey become, the villain, like the surprise villain, and add like a piece to it. Yeah, and instead of him just being redeemed and okay, we're cool now, right? We're cool heroes. That's about the only negatives I can think about. And we all knew Dr. Ian Malcolm wasn't going to be evil. But Ramsey, that could have been something interesting. Very, very interesting. And it's time to wrap this up with my review of Jurassic World Dominion. It was a surprise treat. I'm glad I paid money for it, and I can't wait for the Blu-ray copy, and we'll be there day one. Until next time, this is yours truly signing off. This now concludes the video, and hope that you enjoyed, and thank you for stopping by. And please give this video likes, share this video, comment down below, and until next time, peace, love, and happiness. Happy watching.